Let's set up our project for world generation. 121 Minecraft modding courses available down below, with over 11 hours of content covering everything from the basics all the way to block entities and custom mobs. Alright, fans, back and tell you once more, and in this tutorial we'll be adding, well, basically we're going to make our project set up in a way that we can do and continue with world gen. Now, this particular tutorial is not going to add a particular type of world gen, so we're not going to add or tree or bush generation, something like that, but this is the prerequisite to adding any of them. So if you want origin, this is a tutorial for you. Maybe you come from the origin tutorial where I just sent you back to this one, or from the tree tutorial where I first sent you back to the custom tree and then to this one. Whatever the case may be, you have to follow this one in order to basically add any of the, well, different things in terms of world gen. Now, what we also have is we will need data gen for this. If you don't have a data gen setup over here, once again, then all of this, what we're going to do here is basically also not going to work. So keep that in mind, that you will need the basic data gen setup specifically with the mod data pack provider over here. But of course, you can also always check out all of the code down below, so you should be good to go. Now, what we're going to have is in the tutorial mod package, we're going to right click new package, and we're going to call this the world gen package. Now, inside of there, we'll make 3 new Java classes. The first one is going to be the mod configured features class. There we go. Then we're going to once again make a new Java class called the mod placed features class. There we go. And last but certainly not least, we're going to make the mod biome modifiers class. There we go. Those are going to be the 3 that we need. Now, I'm going to start with the mod configure features. However, first of all, I will explain the rough idea of how this works. When you have world generation, it works in a lot of different steps, but the way that I'm going to conceptualize this is we're going to go from a configured feature to a placed feature to a biome modifier. That is the whole idea, and this is sort of the way that Forge and NeoForge do world gen. So when you have a configured feature, that is basically, okay, like, how is my tree going to look like? How many ore blocks am I going to spawn? How am I going to place down flowers? That's the idea. Yes, how am I going to place down the flowers? The placed feature, however, will then be, where do I place that? And then how many of this I place. That's sort of the idea of the placed feature. And then the biome modifier just says, hey, I mean, in what biome am I going to place this in, and at what stage of generation am I going to place this in? Hopefully, somewhat understandable what each of these do. And of course, because they're, well, in this case, kind of configured feature, right? We can configure whatever we want to spawn with, you know, different sizes, different shapes, whatever we might want to have with different types of shapes, basically. Even so, it's pretty crazy what we can do with the configured feature step. And then the placed feature step, like I said, is going to be more like how the feature that we have configured here is going to be placed inside of the world, and then here is where it is placed inside of the world. That's sort of the idea, and that is what we're going to do. So the configured feature, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy over 2 methods. That's going to be for each one of the different classes. These are super simple methods, and you will find them basically in the description below. In the GitHub repository, you can see there's always a register key method, and there's also a register method. Now, those two, basically this sort of setup, we actually have seen before in a very similar way in the trim, right? So we can see that there is a bootstrap context over here, register method, and you can see this is almost the same thing, right? We can see that, you know, context that register, you can see there's a key here. This is exactly the same pattern, right? This is the same pattern that the data pack provider over here basically always follows with this bootstrap method, and that is this exact same thing that we're going to have both with the mod configured features class, with the mod placed features class, and with the mod biome modifiers class. So that is why basically these 2 methods are always going to be the same. And then we're going to write a third method, and that is going to be the public static void bootstrap method. Bootstrap, there we go. And this is going to have a bootstrap context of type configured feature, and then of type question mark, comma, question mark. Looks absolutely crazy, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to call this the context, and for now, we're going to keep this empty. But in this bootstrap method, this is where we would basically define all of our configured features that will then be turned into JSON files later down the line, right? Not in this tutorial, but then, you know, in the origin tutorial, in the tree gen tutorial, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be first step, mod configured features. Then the placed features, once again, this is how they are being placed inside of the world. Once again, first of all, the 2 methods to copy over, the register key method and the register method. And you can even see if you combine, like if you look at those, they look so similar, it's crazy, right? This one in the configured features just has a configured features resource key, versus in the mod placed features, it has a placed feature registry, like resource key. Super simple. It's very straightforward. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. Now here, once again, we're going to have a public static void, and this is a the bootstrap method over here with the bootstrap context of type placed feature this time, of course, because we're dealing with placed features here. And this, once again, instead of here, we would then define the placed features, basically saying, hey, this is how my configured feature, this is how it should be placed down inside the world, right? Be it, I want like 12 of them like in a, in a cluster, and I want them to be situated in this instance, and, things like that. That's the way that the place feature works. And then continuing along with the biome modifiers, where we'll only have one method over here that we need, because the other one is actually fairly simple. This is going to be, once again, the registry key method here, in this case of NeoForge registries keys biome modifiers, because biome modifiers are actually a thing from Forge/NeoForge, so that is actually a thing API specific in this case. And here, of course, though, we still want our bootstrap method, a public static void, very important bootstrap method with the bootstrap context of biome modifier. Call this the context, and there we go. Now, two things that we can actually already add, because those are going to be what we're going to need one way or the other in the bootstrap context, is a var for the placed features. So we're going to say placed features, because if you remember back to my very greatly drawn diagram over here, we're going to go from a configured feature to a place feature to a biome modifier. There you go, right? And obviously that means that the biome modifier somehow has to access place features. The way to do this is context.lookup place features, placed feature. There you go. And we also want to actually, because a biome modifier also has to tell about what biomes there are. And we're going to do that with the registries.biome over here. Biome, there we go. And that is going to be that. We can actually go back one more step and think about this. Well, wait a second. If the biome modifier has to access the place feature, what do you think the placed features have to access? Exactly, of course, the configured features. If you were able to answer this, then you figured out what this whole ordeal is. If you haven't, it's totally fine. WorldGen is one of the more complex things that exists in Minecraft modding, so absolutely no worries. This is going to be registries.configured feature. There we go. And like I said, we're going to need this later down the line. Now, of course, the configured features, in this case, they don't need anything because they sort of stand on their own. Having added all three of these classes, we can now go on to our mod data pack provider. Like I said, if you don't have this, you can also create it, and that's going to be fine as well. And we want to add, well, three different things. So we want to add the registries dot, this is going to be for the configured feature, very important that you don't choose the carver accidentally. And then mod configured feature, : not registry, but bootstrap, there we go. And we can duplicate this 2 additional times. Once for the placed feature, and then of course, we need to use the mod placed features bootstrap method. Then here, for the NeoForge registries. So there's going to be NeoForge registries.keys.biome modifiers. And this one is going to be the mod biome modifiers, : bootstrap. And there we freaking go. Now, this, in theory, is basically everything that we're going to need to do here to, well, properly situate this. We have it all set up. And of course, if we were to now run the data gen, nothing additional would happen. But this is the basic setup that you will always need for, well, basically data gen based world generation, because all of the world gen is done with JSON files. We can actually see this as well in the external libraries. If we go to our, I believe, resources over here, data, Minecraft, and if we were to go to WorldGen, we can see there are biomes, configured features. As you can see, there are structures. Well, that's not what we're going to deal with right now, but there are also place features, as you can see. And of course, biome modifiers. Well, they don't need biome modifiers because they can just spawn that stuff in the biomes themselves. But of course, we need to somehow change the biomes. Therefore, we also have biome modifiers. But that's the whole idea. You can basically take a look at these JSON files as well. And of course, in theory, well, let's not do the biome one. That's a little bit, that's a bit more than I'm bargaining for over here. But like, let's say the birch tree. This is the absolutely simple birch tree. There's nothing crazy about this. This is just the birch tree. And this is basically how the JSON file looks like. And of course, in the custom tree generation, we'll then basically also see, well, first of all, we're going to make a custom tree. That's going to be in 2 tutorials, I guess. And then afterwards, we're going to then actually spawn it inside of the world. Very interesting things. It's going to be very, very interesting, I'm telling you. And the world gen stuff is definitely a bit more complex, but I'm sure we will manage. But that is the basic setup. And now you can go on to, well, I mean, whatever type of generation you want. In the next video right here, we're going to talk about Origin. Hope to see you there or in one of the other generation videos. So, yeah.